When we talk about identity, my dear brothers and sisters, the issue of identity today is a big crisis, especially in families and children. Most children today are growing up in families not knowing what their identity is. They have a crisis. Am I Muslim? Am I Canadian? Am I Canadian Muslim or am I Muslim Canadian? People sometimes have this confusion and they ask. It makes a difference how you put it, by the way. And then you have your sect. Am I Muslim Shia Canadian? Canadian Muslim Shia? And then you have your ethnicity. Am I Muslim Canadian Shia Khoja, Pakistani, Iraqi, Lebanese, and so on and so forth. You see how many identities intersect? Kids today are confused. And some of them believe, as a result of this confusion, that there's a clash between Islam and being American, being Canadian, being British, being Australian. I'll share with you a study. San Francisco State University did a study on the identity of children. And here's what they discovered. Children ages 5 to 9. Listen to this, it's very interesting. They discovered that 1/3 of Muslim children don't show that they are Muslim in society. They try to hide their Islamic identity. More than half of Muslim children think you can't be Muslim and American at the same time. You have to choose one over the other. I'm either Muslim or I'm either Canadian. See the crisis they have in their minds? Number 3, 1 in 6 Muslim children actually pretended they're not Muslim. See, sometimes you try not to show it. Sometimes you pretend you're not a Muslim. That's even a further state, a further level. Question is why? Because their parents have not taught them what it means to be a Muslim. They think in their mind that I have to choose one or the other. But if they really understood Islam, they would have known that yes, you can be a Muslim and a proud Canadian. Because what does a Muslim mean? That's what most people don't know. And this is what I will answer this question. Are you human first or are you Muslim first? Let's look at the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ. Once the Prophet was passing by and there was a janazah of a Yahudi. A Jewish man had died and they had a funeral for him. All Muslims have narrated this. When the janazah passed by the Prophet stood up. He stood up out of respect. The Muslims told him, Ya Rasulullah, why did you stand up? The dead in the casket is not Muslim, he's Jewish. Look at the response of the Prophet. The Prophet in 2 words tells you what identity means. The Prophet ﷺ responded, أَلَيْسَتْ نَفْسًا. What does that mean? Those of you who know Arabic. What is the response of the Prophet? 2 words in Arabic, but it has oceans of knowledge in it. أَلَيْسَتْ نَفْسًا. Isn't it a soul? Isn't he a human who has a soul? When you look at the lens of the Prophet and how he saw humanity, from which lens did Rasulullah see people? Through identities and ethnicities? Even religions? No. He saw through the lens of humanity. أَلَيْسَتْ نَفْسًا. When Rasulullah sees people, the first thing he sees is human being. A human being who has a soul, who deserves respect for that soul. Then yes, you have a human being who submits to Allah and to the laws of Allah. We call a Muslim. But in the end, they are all human beings, the creation of Allah. And remember the hadith from the Prophet in which he says, the most beloved amongst you in the eyes of Allah is who? Al-Khalqu Ayalullah. Ahabbukum ilallah anfa'akum li'ayalih. The Prophet says, Muslims are the dependents of Allah. Does he say Muslims? No. He says Al-Khalq. What does Khalq mean? People, creation, everyone. Everyone is the dependent of Allah. So the most beloved amongst you in the eyes of Allah is the one who serves the dependents of God most. See the lens? From which lens is the Prophet seeing? The lens of humanity. And Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam further elaborates that. The Imam alayhi salam says religion is a strong bond, no doubt. If there is someone who has faith, that person is the closest to you. But don't forget the overall lens. That people are in two categories. Either they are your brothers in faith, or they're your counterparts in humanity. أو نظير لك في الخلق. They're your counterparts. They're just like you. Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, when we think of the issue of identity, the Islamic identity means the human identity. There's no discrimination. You see everyone equally. You see everyone from the lens of humanity. And that's what counts. And that's how you see other people. So, I would respond to that question using the hadith of the Prophet. أَلَيْسَتْ نَفْسًا. And see the beauty in the hadith of the Prophet.